Hello everyone, so in this lecture we'll be talking about a couple of the tools like Finger, ShowMount, RpcInfo and Enum4Linux. So let's first talk about Finger command. So Finger command is a user information lookup command which gives details of all the user that's logged in. So this tool is generally used by system administrators. It provides details like login name, username, idle name, login time and in some cases their email addresses even. This tool is similar to the Pinky tool, but the Pinky tool is just the lightweight version of this tool. So how can I install this? Simply every tool that I will talk about in this lecture, you can simply install all of these by simply typing apt-get install and name the tool and it will automatically install. I am using Kali Linux machine or any Linux distributor, you can install this the same way. So I have already installed all the R4 tools that we'll talk about. So let's first talk about how this Finger command actually work. So let's first type Finger and our Kali Linux. So this is the machine and this machine name is Kali. As you can see, it displays the login name, name directory, shell, login time and also a plan of the user. So to get the ideal status, we need to type Finger -s Kali, and as you can see, it displays the ideal status along with the detail of the user. To avoid printing PGP key and plan and protect details, you can simply type Finger -p Kali. As you can see, it displays the login name, directory, shell, login time, email and the PGP of the projected user. So to create a plan for a user, you can simply type echo plan detail by plan, but we'll not talk about that. So you can also type Finger H to see all of the Finger help invalid option Finger. So I don't think this has a Finger help menu. So that's how basically this Finger tool works. So let's talk about the RpcInfo next. So let's clear our screen. So use RpcInfo is one of the utility that to check whether your mount target is connected to the network of all required ports. So the RpcInfo utility is a program that retrieves a list of all remote procedure or all RPC services that currently running, their names and also their description, and also it gives you the ports that they are using. So you can use RpcInfo utility to verify that a mount target is connected to the network of all required port. Simply installing process, simply apt-get install, type RpcInfo and it will automatically install if your machine doesn't have RpcInfo pre-installed. So let's type RpcInfo -h. As you can see, these are all the options that you can do in here, like you can use -m -s to host, -p to host, t to net id host, -l to host, so all of those. So let's try -p. So RpcInfo -p. So this is the IP address of our Kali Linux machine. So as you can see, these are the services and the ports that are on running in here. So we have most of those are TCP and UDP ports running on port. So this is the port list. So these are running on this port, this running on this port, and these are the services all are running in here. So if you mount IP address with this IP address, this output will look like this, and this will give you a page of port and services that are running. So for each program that are listed, you can use a command which is RpcInfo -u target 192.168.1.102 and the program number. You can use simply the program number in here. So let's use the first one, 1 1 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5. So as you can see, program version 2 is ready and waiting. It gives you a report whether the response or that is in right now. So if RPC call is successful, then this output will be similarly like this. You can use other numbers like last use 24. As you can see, ready and waiting. Let's use another one like 3. As you can see, this program is not registered because I typed it wrong. As you can see, program version 2 ready and waiting, ready and waiting. So you can get all of those reports in here using RpcInfo. So let's now talk about, let's clear the screen and talk about ShowMount. So ShowMount command shows information about an NFS server. So this information is maintained by the mount server on the host. So the default value of the host is the value that returned by the host name. So with no option, and it shows the client that have mounted directories from the host. So ShowMount is usually found on user and has-been folder. So let's talk about ShowMount and -h. As you can see, you can use all of those commands using in here. So let's use a couple of example like ShowMount -a. So what does -all? So let's use our IP address in here. So let's use -d. -d means directories. As you can see, these are the directories, -d and 192.168.1.102. As you can see, these are the directories on in here. If we use another IP address, so it is taking some time, but eventually it will show up the directories of the remote client. But as this is our main machine, that's why it's not showing any remote client. Okay, let's run again. So okay, I did wrong IP address. So that's how we use or list the directories mounted by the. So if we use our 192.168.1.168.1 dot, what is our Metasploitable IP address? This is 102. So let's use 102. As you can see, directories on 102 are in here. Let's use -e. So these are the export list for /star. Then you can remove the headers from the command output with like using show minus. So let's use ShowMount -v. So 1.33. So this is the ShowMount command package that being used. So that's the command you can use using ShowMount. So let's now talk about another big tool, which is Enum4Linux. So Enum4Linux is a tool that used to enumerate the SMB share on both Windows and Linux system. So it is basically a wrapper around the tool, which is the Samba package, and makes it easy for extract information from the target pertaining to SMB. So just type Enum4Linux. As you can see, these are the tools you can use. So you can use -u to get user list, they can -m to machine list, share list, password and policy information. Then additionally you can use -a to do simple enumeration, and all of those commands you can use. So as you can see, it is around the tool, similar functionality like enum.exe. So let's use Enum4Linux -u. What does -u do? Where is -u? Okay, get user list. So let's see the user list of our Kali Linux machine. So as you can see, this is the user list. It will be shown in here. So the most basic uses of Enum4List takes an option to the IP address of the target. So this is the IP address of the target, and you can use -u to flag view of the user target. So as you can see, server doesn't allow Apache. Cannot find anything. Okay, let's try another IP address, which is 3. 3 is, I think, our Kali Linux machine IP address. Okay, so what this thing will do is it will give us some information about the work group, whether the server allow the null session like blank username and password. So let's use another one, which is -s. So -s will give us, so this flag will give us information about the SMB share on this machine. So that's how we can use an enumeration Enum4Linux using these comments.